everyone, welcome to the court. My name is April if you're new here. We're gonna go over recent makes today. I have a few. I don't have a ton because I've actually been working really hard on a pattern test and something for my market that is quite a large project. It took me a whole week to do and it's done, but I can't share yet. So check the next video for that one. I will be sharing my final decision on how I want to do my new booth, and as well as a very fun special guest that I'm gonna share with you. But in the meantime, let me go over some of the things I made this week, as well as a little bit of a yarn haul. So I've already opened this, but as we all know by now, Knotty Pony is gonna be ending soon. And if you're like me, you probably really were sad about that, but totally understand as well. Especially in this economy, how any business survives is beyond me, and everything Carrie has done so far, I'm so proud of her for doing. But of course, with that announcement, I had to go over and support her and buy some more Knotty Pony yarn. So I was really excited to not only stock up on some colors that I really loved and needed, but also get a couple more. So I went ahead and got two of the pink, and again, probably a top tier yarn in my opinion. Again, Carrie did such a great job with this yarn. It's so amazing. If you saw my last video, that was also a yarn review. This is definitely very similar and it doesn't shed. So if you are looking for an option that doesn't, well, I won't say 100% doesn't shed, it doesn't shed as much as that other one for sure. Not nearly as much, but I still love both. This one, very soft and silky and luxurious feeling. Go to Carrie's website, I'll have it linked below. Her YouTube is Traveling Pony, by the way. I don't know if I said that, I don't think I did. And then her yarn is Knotty Pony. Anyways, I also got the blue, the light blue. I have plans for the pink and blue for sure. I'm gonna be making something very special. And I didn't have the black before, it literally just ripped as I grabbed it out of the thing. That's fine with me. Again, this feels so good. Like every single skein feels really good. This black one feels a little less silky than the other ones, but again, I use Posh, so can't be worse than that. I did get two of those. Again, I think it just got stuck, so the skeins actually just ripped. That's okay, I ripped my skeins anyways, I don't keep them in them. And then my favorite color of the line is the caramel color, so I got three of those. I use these for turtles and for bears. And the black is gonna be probably for cats, like black cats and xenomorphs, because that was a really fun one to do. Anyways, that's just a small order. It's about what I could get right now, and I'm honestly full up on yarn right now. I need to be making stuff and selling stuff so I can get more. Speaking of making stuff, let me show you what I did make. This isn't going to be a super long video, but let me show you. In my last video, I showed you this little guy. This is one of Nook's Hook's bears in the blue alien hoodie. Again, I just love, I've made so many of these at this point. I really want to make some more like character type hoodies. And I love safety eyes. Like I love the sinker safety eyes, the big ones, but for some reason, I just love this bear and the small eyes. I love it. I think it looks like just the cutest. I've seen other people do it with sinker eyes and it's not that those aren't cute. For some reason, this just appeals to me the most, you know what I mean? So that's why I used these kind of eyes for them. But again, I loved making this guy. I'm definitely gonna make some other character bears, as well as I really want to make a bearista. I want to make punny bears, you know what I mean? So if you have a bear pun below that I need to make, like strawberry, I've already made one of those. Blueberry, already made one of those too. But you know what I mean? Like punny bears. I want to do more of those because they just make me laugh. I love a good pun. I got a few patterns from Pocketful of Posies, and she recently started a channel here on YouTube as well, so definitely go give her a follow. But I fell in love with a few of these patterns. She has a dragon pattern too. I didn't get that one, but I definitely want to after working on some of her other ones. But I got one I haven't done yet is the griffin and the hippogriff. I definitely want to make that one. But one I did make is Glimmer the unicorn. I decided I really wanted to use this tie-dye Premier Basics yarn for the hair. This is probably one of the types of variegated yarns that I do really like. It comes out a very sometimes the way the Bernat yarn, variegated yarns come out, you get like these big blobs in spaces when you're doing amigurumi, but with the tie-dye yarn, it definitely is random, very random when it's worked up, and I really like that. I went overboard on this hair. Like I did so much extra because I accidentally, you start down here and then go upwards. I started too far down, so I was like, well, screw it, I'm just gonna make more hair. We're just gonna go for it. And then I gave her a little curl in front. Of course I had to. This is just so adorable. I used Sweet Snuggles Light on it. She is really cute. I think a lot of Pocketful of Posies patterns have the same body style, and it's really easy. Definitely, I think the only sewing I did was, nope, we sewed the head to the body, the horn, and the ears. Oh, and the space. So it's not no-sew, okay? It's not no-sew, but it is cute. He's so cute. I was obsessed with it. I definitely want to make a more traditional white unicorn with like the, I have this like pastel rainbow hair, so I definitely want to do that one. I also still have a little bit of this. I think I have this much. And I think I have half of another skein too, because I forgot that I had to have a skein. Does that happen to you guys? Sometimes I start a new skein and I forget that I already did that. But anyways, that was this little girl. What should we name her? Because she needs a name. Sunny? Sunshine? Something like that? Or does it need to be something candy related? I feel like it needs to be like Lolly or something like that, because she's very like candy coated. Or tropical, something like that. But anyways, Glimmer, maybe we'll just call her Glimmer, but Glimmer the unicorn, highly recommend these patterns from Pocketful of Posies. I'm still picking fluff off, but that's to be expected. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to say about Glimmer. I did attempt to make some like kind of pastel-y eyes with mica powder, and I don't know about you guys, I don't know that I'm a mica powder girl. I just don't think it works for me. It's very weird again for me to say this, but I love glitter. I wear nothing but black and gray or white, but glitter just makes everything amazing to me when talking about safety eyes. So these aren't my favorite eyes I've ever done, but the next one, I love those. So since I got that pattern, I also had to get this one, which I'm also obsessed with. This is Wisteria, the Winged Kitty. As you can see, I used that tie-dye yarn again. Her wing got a little stuck, so I had to help it out. There's two different tail options. I used the larger tail option, and then obviously the legs and the arms are and the body style is very similar to Glimmer, and the head as well, very similar to Glimmer. Let me see. Hang on. We gotta plug you in. Wisteria here isn't 100% done because I could not find my yarn to make her eyelashes, but that's okay. She'll get eyelashes before I take her to market. But this pattern, I just love a winged kitty. I had to get her. She's so adorable. And what I think I really want to use this pattern for maybe is actually could be used for memorial kitties. If with the wings, you could easily do white wings and do like an angel kitty, and give her a little halo on top that you could totally just surface crochet on. And I think this pattern is easy enough to be very customizable. And the eyes I used for this one are eyes that I made. Again, lots of different color changing shimmers in there. I really tried to pick ones that just popped with this one because I knew her eyes were going to be a little hidden because I wanted to do certain eyelids. But I think that's what I'm going to use this pattern for, not just fantasy kitties like this little purple kitty right here, but definitely like if I ever do memorial animals, this would be one for a kitty because I just think she's so cute. She's so cute. I know a lot of people use the like sitting kitties and stuff like that, which this one can sit as well, but I think this one is just precious. And for some reason, I know this tail seems very fox-like, but I still loved it, and I had to put the tie-dye on the end here for that one. I almost put the tie-dye on the paw pads, but for some reason I was like, nah, let's just do pink. And then of course the dark purple lines for this kitty. You do get two different ear types for this pattern. I chose the large ears. You could do smaller ears too that are just one color, but I wanted to do the larger ears. I just think that they worked on a winged kitty if I was going with like a fantasy creature, which I did. But yeah, Glimmer is so cute. And again, Sweet Snuggles Light is the yarn that I used here. I was in a Sweet Snuggles Light mood. I got a lot of it recently because it was like on BOGO. And so I'm like, well, let's just use it all up. So yeah, Wisteria, 10 out of 10, would recommend, as well as the other one. But I love these patterns. Again, I got these all, wait, I forgot to tie in her armpit hair here. Oh my God, girl, shave, please. Just kidding. I haven't made the Griffin yet, but it's next on my list. I really love all the patterns I got from Pocket Full of Posies. Thank you so much for offering those and making these because these were just a joy to make. And then I shared this one on my Instagram, and I wasn't going to share it yet, but since I haven't made its partner yet, I decided I'm going to wait on its partner and just make this one for now. But I did make Mongo. This is Mongo from Dungeon Crawler Carl, which, as I've said before, probably in another video, I'm obsessed with like a lot of other people are right now. The pattern I used is from KP Crochet Creations. I used the T-Rex pattern. I did do some mods. For instance, I turned the hands upside down to make them more velociraptor-y. And then I modded the face. So I just added 2 rounds here to the end. I did this a couple times to figure out how I wanted it because I really wanted it to be like, you know, kind of like this, but it's really hard to get that shape. You know what I mean? It's really hard to get that shape. And then Mongo is a blue dino with pink like feathers on him. So that's what I did. The eyes, I used some 35mm eyes. His eyes are almost too big for his head, but since he's, you know, not real, why not? Why not? I think they worked, and I made him a little bit angry. Also, I was unsure about the mouth and the teeth, but my husband insisted that he have teeth because I showed him some pictures. He's never read the series, but I showed him some art, fan art pictures, and he's like, you gotta figure out how to give him teeth. So that's why he has some mouth and teeth, but I think it works. I think this works a lot. He ends up being a little bit like bigger, the size of my head, but I am actually quite happy with how he turned out. Does he stand on his own? Nope. No, he does not. He's very top heavy. But you can just kind of sit him back on his, you know, tail here, and, you know, it's fine. It's fine. To me, someone who gets this one is either a kid who doesn't know anything and he's just, I like the blue and the pink, or someone who knows Dungeon Crawler Carl and they're going to be like, I want to display that next to the books. So I love this little guy. I love this make. Pattern again, KP Creations Kindle. I think she's a genius. I think she's a pattern making genius, and this pattern is one of my favorites that I've made from her. I love many of her patterns, and I hope she continues to make more dinos. This next one is one I fell in love with via Instagram. So if you don't think that Instagram Reels matter, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Because I get hooked by them all the time. And this one is Sad Kitty. This one is Sad Kitty from Knott's Berry Yarn. Knott's Merry Yarn, just to get that clear, because it sounded like my mouth wasn't working for a second. The sad music to the sad kitty was what got me on this one. I just had to make it. What got me was the freaking tear, okay? What got me was the freaking tear here. And I just imagine this being an emotional support stuffed animal for when a kid or an adult like me is sad, like I was last week. You can just snuggle this little sad kitty and not be alone, because you know what? Misery loves company. Okay, misery loves company. And let me tell you, I sure needed a friend like this last week. This is a snuggler pattern actually, but you can fill out the body. It is not half double crochets or anything right here. It's single crochets. So I put a little bit of stuffing in there. She's still very, very squishy. I tried not to overstuff the arms, because one thing with these patterns too, if you overstuff the arms, say you're stuffing beyond here, your arms will stick out. So if you have a plushie and you're like, why does my arm stick out? Take like that much stuffing out, okay? Everything from here up, take it out. Take it out. So I didn't do that on the legs though. The legs are fully stuffed. But also I just like was obsessed with this sad kitty with the tears in her eyes. Again, I was using a lot of this purple, so I was like, let's just use it all up. So with this one I made purple and pink, and then this is like that that color from Posh, Big Twist Posh, that is like sorbet colored. I don't know what it's called. I also put a little detailing on the tail and everything, but I was just so obsessed with the Instagram reel, and I immediately had to check out. I had to buy it. Again, I couldn't find my black yarn. I found it, so I need to add her eyelashes, but besides that, I just really, really loved this sad kitty, and I'm obsessed with it, and I want to make like 2 more at least, because she's so cute. I gotta make her in different colors though. I'm not gonna do like regular colors for these, because they are supposed to be a little cheery even though they're sad. It's supposed to make you feel better. So I might do like a coral one, and I might do maybe like a lime green one. I think that would be cute too. I don't feel like making like normal colors for these guys in particular. I do think she could use some face shaping, like maybe right here. But maybe I'll try once I get my eyelash color back. I think I'll try. The ears are supposed to be kind of like flatter because she's sad. But other than that, again, wonderful pattern. Came very easily, worked up really quick. These kind of patterns where you're like almost like the no-sew arms and legs, they always work up really, really quickly. I think the only thing I sewed on was the ears. That's it. Yep, only thing I sewed on was the ears. Love it. I'll also put a link to the Instagram reel that I saw down below, so you could be hooked like I was. It's something about the music and everything, but meh. And the last thing I have to show you is definitely not the biggest thing. In fact, I went to the smallest thing because it was in the bottom of my box. But I am doing some market prep for the fall. I made a list recently of all the things I would like to have by fall. I would really like to get my inventory up to $3,000 to $4,000 worth before October. And that list came up to 118 plushies. I don't crochet that fast, but I did start on some of the smaller makes. I made the Derpy Turtles. This is a free pattern. He goes this way. he goes this way. He's a derpy turtle. This pattern is by Gwenny's Crochet. I believe that's it. She does some other smaller patterns as well. I believe like SpongeBob type patterns. But this is perfect. Everyone thinks it's like Crush or like the baby Crush from Finding Nemo. Like I get that all the time and people love it. So I made different ones. This one looks kind of perturbed that he got awoken. He was in his slumber and he got awoken. So there's that one. And then this one looks definitely a little bit irritated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like grumpy things. Okay, I don't know. They come out how they want to come out. And then there's this one who is a little bit happier. But anyways, I use Posh and Knotty Pony for the shell, which makes them really sturdy, luxurious, and cool. Like this is just a different turtle. If you're ever tired of making the normal turtles, not as easy as those ones. You do make this in 2 pieces and to sew them together. Or no, I'm sorry. You do make this in 2 pieces and then you crochet them together as you're making the shell. But the fins and everything are crocheted in the round and they're really cool, honestly, on how she has this come together. And the only really thing I sew is a little mouth and these eyelids over the eyes, which you don't have to do if you don't want to. I choose to do it because I think it gives them a little bit of personality, but you know, you can have one eye up here and one eye down here and make it super derpy. But anyways, I did 4 of those. I want to have at least 10. I cannot do like 10 things in a row. It just like market prepping little things really like takes it out of me. So I did those. I'm working on swirly snakes next for my market prep. I might do a whole video of market prep items that I'm prepping for fall, including what I'm gonna do for my mystery boxes and those kind of things, but that will definitely be later in the summer. Anyways, that's everything I've made this week. Sorry I'm a little chatty today, but I'm actually having a really good day and I don't have a headache. So when I don't have a headache, I'm very chatty. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite that I made this week. And let me also know if there's anything you think I should make next. I'm always wanting to try new patterns. I just love trying patterns out. I'm that person for sure. Anyways, thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.